By the way, have you seen video number 1 already? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I cannot play it here in my side. So it is hoped that in that particular video, you were
Fossil
able
fuels.
to
Fossils
learn what fossils are and what fossil
fuel is a term
fuels
used to
are
describe
and
equivalent
how
energy
fossil
sources
fuels are
that were
formed.
formed from ancient plants and
Because
organisms
in the
during the
second
Carboniferous
video,
period.
you're going to describe how fossils are formed, and this is module number 4. Okay,
Approximately
so there are 3
360
types
to
of fossil
286
fuels,
billion years
namely,
ago, even
what
before
are
the ancient
those 3
dinosaurs.
types of fossil fuels? Anyone? Based on the video, what are the 3 types of fossil fuels?
Natural gas, oil,
Natural gas is one, oil,
and
oil in the
coal.
form of petroleum, right? Petroleum is actually crude oil, okay? And then aside from that, we have
At that
Coal.
time, land
coal.
was covered
Okay,
with
now
swamps filled with
the
organisms and
liquefied
plants.
petroleum gas is actually the gas
Two
that we're
major types of
referring to
ferns,
there, which
plants,
is
and
actually
hippos,
methane.
formed by the same
Okay,
process as oil,
so
which
we have
hardened under
Joward
pressure.
Bulawan.
Oil was formed from small organisms like zooplankton and algae, where pressure caused the more complex organic matter to decompose. Natural gas was
Now,
formed by the same process as
uh,
oil, only it
looking
was
at your
exposed to more
module
heat and
for
pressure,
this
causing it
week,
to
it is
further
said
decompose
here
and turn into
that
a
this
gaseous
module
form.
presents how
Fossil
fossils are formed. This aims to provide an overview of the importance of fossil fuels to to the advancement of society and how to ensure self-sufficiency for the current and future generation. Okay, so fossil fuels are important because from the fossil fuels we derive different energy sources, fuel for different industries, and also for transportation and communication. For example, we have coal. Coal is a fossil fuel that is used in various industries in our country. So could you imagine if there will be no fossil fuels? Okay, gas or natural gas is also a fossil fuel. And what is the most important use of this natural gas at home? And let's say petroleum. Petroleum is used to run the vehicles and different types of transportation, whether it is land, sea, or air transportation. We need fuel from petroleum. And so, what do you think will happen to the economy and to the country? So, in this particular lesson, we will be learning the impact of these sources of energy to the country's advancement or to the advancement of the society towards self-sufficiency in the future generation. Okay, now when we say fossil fuels, now what kind of fuels are they? And what kind of energy source are they? Are they renewable or non-renewable? And
Non-renewable po.
non-renewable. Do you have any idea of non-renewable sources of energy?
It
When do we say that such source of energy is non-renewable?
it is when something takes millions of years to create, not in a span of human life.
That could be part of the description of non-renewable, but it's not complete. What is the most important idea to share about non-renewable
It
sources of
is
energy?
it is finite po, and there's a
Limited push.
limit
Okay,
on how
Vincent.
much we can use. It is
Okay,
finite,
it
and
is finite, which means that,
which means that we can easily exhaust it, and we can empty
okay,
our
it
reserves
is
without replacing it.
exhaustible, meaning it can be depleted. Okay, and time will come that there, upon continuous usage of these fossil fuels, time will come that the future generation won't have these fossil fuels anymore. right? Because it could be depleted. It is non-renewable, unlike other sources of energy that will be there from generations to generation. Okay, so since it is exhaustible and cannot be renewed, which means once they are gone, they are gone. Once they are used up, then they are used up. They can never be replaced. Or if they will be replaced, it will take millions of years again, because the formation of fossil fuels takes a very long time. Okay, like those that are um, like, for example, coal, like petroleum, that is a product of a long time of physical and chemical processes. Okay? Any question with the main idea of this particular module? So this is something to do with the impact of these energy sources to the advancement of the society. Advancement means to the progress in the society. Self-sufficiency means that we depend on our own resources for our economy from generation to generation. Okay, now at the end of this module, you are expected to identify the components of fossil fuels, discuss how fossil fuels are formed, and differentiate the three major types of fossil fuels. Again, Ezekiel, what are the three types of fossil fuels? Ezekiel, are you there?
Oil, coal, and natural gas po.
Oil, coal, and natural gas. Another name for oil, Arin?
Petroleum, sir.
Correct. And do you know, can any one of you identify some of the products of petroleum? Petroleum is a raw material, and petroleum has to undergo a chemical process known as fractional distillation. And from fractional distillation, different distillates will be produced, as you have learned in chemistry. Is that clear?
Diesel. I
Okay. Yeah, Aaron, continue. What are the
uh
distillates? Wait, what are the distillates out of the fractional distillation of petroleum?
Diesel, kerosene.
Diesel, kerosene,
Mm, yun lang po yung alam ko, sir.
ilang alam mo. Okay? Meron ding paraffin, meron ding yung iba't iba nating klase ng petrol. Meron tayong uh, unleaded, super unleaded, kerosene, okay, diesel, and others, right? And what is, can you please identify to me the waste product of this distillation? It's a waste product, and yet they are still useful. Anyone?
Plastics po ba, if I'm not wrong?
Plastic? Similar to that. What is it? I'll describe it. It's a black, sticky substance.
Asphalt po.
Asphalt, in other words, it is bitumen. Okay? But where do we use asphalt for?
Productions of roads. Creation
Okay.
po.
So we have the material for the construction of roads. Okay. That's the most important thing there. Okay. Any questions so far? Now, you could just imagine what the world would be or what the society would be if there will be no sources of this, or if all these non-biodegradable materials and then these fossil fuels are all used up already. I cannot imagine it. Is that clear? That's why at present time, what is being introduced as an alternative source for these non-renewable sources of energy? Anyone can answer?
Uh, Sir, renewable energies po, like using windmill for wind power po.
Okay, correct. Wind is an example of renewable source of energy because whether you like it or not, it's always there. Well, in fact, in the Philippines, we have a lot of this. Bagyo pa nga pag nagkataon, hindi ba? So we have strong winds. Strong winds are used to propel water, to propel turbines to generate it into electricity. Okay, what else?
Solar energy, sir.
Solar energy, yes. We are in the equatorial zone. Our Philippines is located near the equator, and we have a lot of sunshine, right? So we have a lot of solar energy. What else?
Nuclear
Geothermal
energy
energy
po.
po.
Geothermal energy, or the heat coming from beneath the ground. We have a lot of volcanoes in the Philippines, right? And near volcanoes, there will be good sources or location for geothermal energy. What else?
Nuclear po, sir.
Nuclear. As actually at this generation, there are issues regarding the establishment of nuclear power plants. We have started nuclear power plants in the Philippines long time ago, even when I was still in the primary grades or in the elementary, I already learned that in the Philippines they are starting with a nuclear power station, but until now it is not fully operational. For what purpose?
Health hazards, sir.
Health hazards. Yes, well, that's what they say, health hazards, but we do not know very well how true is that, because until present time, there's a debate on having this issue. Okay, is it more on health hazards, or they're just protecting something that we do not know? Okay, what else?
Hydroelectric po from water.
Hydroelectric from water. We have a lot supply of water in the Philippines. We have a lot of waterfalls in the Philippines. The only problem is when summer comes and there is little amount of water. So electricity will be weak because the hydroelectric power are not used to its maximum. But we have a lot of this in the Philippines as well. So, which means that if we can only harness these renewable sources of energy, this could be good substitute or alternative for the use of non-renewable sources of energy, which is safer to use, which is good for the environment, which pose less health hazard, unlike the use of and the burning of fossil fuels, petroleum, and coal. So I hope I have shared to you a lot already regarding the impact of non-renewable sources of energy or fossil fuels to our society. Now, and then you have to differentiate the three major types of fossil fuels. Again, going back, you have to differentiate coal, oil, and uh, coal, oil, and gas as sources of energy. Okay, may I present to you the whole module now? Okay, can you see this? Can you see what I am showing you?
Yes
Yes,
po.
sir.
Okay, this is actually the
Yes.
module, okay? And it starts with, again, what I know, okay? My purpose of giving you first the two um, videos and my introduction about the lesson is for you to be able to at least answer these questions that I have here. At least you will have an idea on how to go about these questions. There are 14 questions here. Have you answered this already? Have you answered this already?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Everybody?
Yes,
Everybody?
sir.
Okay. I will not share to you the answers yet because it's unfair for those who are doing the uh, printed modular and digital modular if I give you the answer, right? So I'll just see how you answer this when you submit to me your work already. Now, going back, fossil fuels, how fossil fuels are formed. Before you learn that lesson, you should know the definition of the following words: ore, mining, minerals, open pit mining. So you should know these terms first. And I've given you here the following terms and their description. Have you read this already?
Yes po.
Do you have any question with this? Is everything in this part clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You tell me, yes, and you tell me which one is not so that I can explain them further to you. Underground mining is also included. Now here, this is the first activity that you're going to do under this portion. The direction is you're going to list 5 major modes of transportation in the Philippines and their energy source. We have different modes of transportation in the Philippines: air, land, and water. For example, here, let's localize it. Here in Lucena, what's the most common mode of transportation?
Roadways po.
Okay, so we have land transport, right? And in the land transportation, we have various vehicles like jeepneys,
Bicycle,
bicycle,
Tricycle.
motorcycle,
tricycle, motorcycle,
cars,
cars, what else? Trucks, ambulance,
Bus po.
bus, what else? Delivery trucks, okay? All those. So we have that mode of transport. To come to school, what do you usually use? To come to school, what do you usually use as a mode of
Bicycle and jeep.
jeepney? Okay, let's say you write jeepney here. Okay. Now what is the source of energy for jeepney? On the opposite side, you write. Is that clear? Now, you don't concentrate on all land transport or all land water transport or air. Have a variety of all the modes of transportation and identify for each of them the source of energy. That is this activity. Any question with this? No question? Okay, moving on. There are follow-up questions here. There are 4. Among the 5 modes of transportation, which is the most common? So that's straightforward question. So I'm expecting for a straightforward answer. Number 2, what is the common source of energy of the different mode of transportation? So for the different mode of transportation, you look at all their sources of energy and find out what is the most common. Is it coal? Is it petroleum or oil? Or is it gas? Is that clear? Okay, number 3. What do you think is the effect of the mode of transportation in the source of energy if the source of energy is not available? So you try to imagine, okay, what will happen, or what will be the effect on the mode of transportation if the source of energy is not available? If petroleum is not available, what happened to land vehicles as mode of transport? Is that clear? So you have to identify first the source of energy in order for you to explain number 3. Is that clear? Do you know what to do? Please say yes or no.
yes, sir.
Okay, and lastly, number
Yes po.
4.
Yes, sir.
Yes
What do
po.
you think will be its impact in our economy? Okay, there are no sources of this energy because it has been depleted already. So let's say petroleum. So there will be no fuel for cars, for tractors, for delivery trucks, and others. So what do you think is its impact on our economy? So you have to predict what will happen. Is that there?
Yes
And
po.
knowing the impact to the society, to our economy, what will be its impact on you? Because we depend on different economy and industries of our country, right? Okay, so that is for this particular activity. Okay, moving on. I have here another lecture or discussion on formation of fossil fuels. Okay, what are fossil fuels? What are the major types of fossil fuels like coal? How are they produced and others? Natural oil, okay, how they are produced, and natural gas. So you read this very well. It is self-explanatory. You will use the knowledge you have learned. You will learn this in doing the next part of the module. Okay. Here are the formation of fossil fuels, plus what you learned in the video. You put them all together to answer the next activity. Direction, right true if the statement is correct, and false if it is not. This is easy, just true or false, okay? Coal, oil, and natural gas are fossil fuels. If you think it is true, then you write true on the blank. If you think it is false, then you write false on the blank. Easy, right? Any question?
None.
None, sir.
Okay, good. For what I have learned, okay, you see this? Please compare this with what you have in, I think there are some points missing when you open this file in the classroom, in the module, this part of the module, there's something missing. Okay, so that's why I'm presenting this to you, and you please make the necessary adjustment. Can you see this part in the module?
Opo.
Yes, sir.
Is it exactly like this?
No, sir.
Yes.
No
Okay.
po.
If there are some discrepancies, then you please adjust. Now, this is what you're going to do. There are 6 frames here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Labeled stage 1, stage 2, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, scene 5, scene 6. Okay? And there are boxes below each scene. Okay, we have box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, box 5, and box 6. What does it mean? Look at scene 1. What do you see in the picture? Okay, there's a description here for scene 1. There's a description here for scene 1, meaning millions of years ago, dead plants and animals fall into seas and swamps. Ay, inaantok na si Arin. Gumaya kay Gia kasi. Alam niyo ba na ang paghikab ay nakakalalim? Contagious yun. Kaya wag kayong hihikab. Wag niyo ipakikita humihikab kayo. Baka humikab din ako. Okay, going back. This is scene 1. This is the picture. And this is the description of the picture. So scene 1 is complete. Is that clear? Now look at scene 2. There's a picture, but there's no description. right? Do you see any description there?
None, sir.
None. So this is what you're going to do. Based on what you have learned in the lecture, how will you describe this picture here? Is that clear? Okay, now scene 3. Scene 3, there is the description, but the picture is not there. So what will you do?
Illustrate, sir.
You're going to draw what the description is all about here. Is that clear? Where will you get that answer? From our discussion. I don't mind if you draw horribly. If your drawing is horrible, I'm not teaching art. Okay, I'm teaching earth science. Okay, next. Scene 4. There is the picture, but there is no description. So you write the description once again. What do you think is this all about? The picture is all about.
Process po. Nagpa-mine po. Mining.
Huh?
Mining.
Okay, this is mining
Process ko lang
industry.
po.
Mining industry for what energy source? For what fossil fuel?
Coal po.
Coal.
Coal po.
For coal. You see the background? Those pyramids are actually piles of coal being mined. So this was the start of the generation when man, okay, discovered coal and they started to do mining for coal. Okay, this one, this picture. What is this picture all about?
Coal
What do
being
you
burned
see?
to
Okay,
generate electricity or energy.
correct. That is coal being burned to generate
Heat. Heat.
heat, not electricity. Okay? What is this structure? Ano ba to? Television ba to?
Fireplace.
That's
Fireplace
a
po.
fireplace. That's a fireplace. So in cold regions, they need a fireplace and they need coal as a fuel for the fireplace, in order to keep the room temperature inside their house. They need heat, right? Okay, now for number 4, for the last one, you have the picture, you have the description. So what are you going to do here?
Nothing.
None, sir.
None.
Wala po.
Correct. Okay. And then lastly, after doing that, there is a follow-up here. Okay. Philippines depends primarily on fossil fuels as a main source of energy in different modes of transportation. Since this source is non-renewable, it means that there will be a time that it will perish. As a STEM student, what do you do? What can you do or suggest to solve this problem? So I want your own idea on this. Okay? At least a paragraph, minimum of 5 sentences. Pwede?
Apa.
Okay. Minimum yung 5 sentences, pwede mag-exceed. And lastly, we have the assessment. There are 15 questions and an additional activity here. What will you do? Have a research on fossil fuel deposits that can be found in the Philippines. Determine its location, abundance, and type. Location means in the Philippines, where is it found? Abundance means whether it's many or just a little. And type of fossil fuel. Is it a gas? Is it coal? Or is it oil? That is after you have done the assessment. Okay. What's the silence? What does the silence mean?
Sir, can the uh determine the abundance be percentages?
It's up to you as long as it's quantitative.
Okay, noted, sir. And can we resend? Because
Huh?
I've can we resend you? Can we resend the email to you? Because I just found out about the order of the pictures or sceneries, and I
Okay.
haven't.
Okay. Sure. Luckily, I haven't opened it yet because my last day of opening it is on Tuesday next week for this module. Okay, this is what you're going to do. All the activities, all the questions and answer to questions to this module, you put all together in one file and label it as week 4 module. Okay, it's one file so that you just put an attachment for my email. Is that clear? Para pag open ko, lahat sa inyo yon. Okay? But don't forget to write your name and your class and this subject, Earth Science. Arin, since you have sent already, and for those of you who have sent already and who wish to change some portions, please do so. But please delete the first one that you have sent already para hindi ako malito.
Sir,
Para isang file na lang yung makikita ko.
concern lang po. I don't think pwede po palang mag-delete ng email. Trinay ko po kasi. Tapos hindi din pa yung i-delete.
Hindi na ba pwede?
Sir, nadidelete po sa amin, pero hindi nasa inyo pa rin po yung sinend namin na
Okay,
email.
ganito
Parang
na
ganun
lang.
po.
Okay. Lagyan nyo doon ng message. Okay? Lagyan nyo halimbawa, Sir, this is the final, these are the final answers to the activities and questions for that I did for week 4, module number 4. Para hindi ko natitingnan yung una, yun na lang pangalawa.
Noted po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Para ang gagawin ko, dito, pag nakakita ko ng note na ganon, yung nauna nyong inilagay, akin na lang i-remove sa aking inbox. I-delete ko sa inbox ko para ang dami na kasi, 400 plus na. From all sections in different subjects. Okay, any more question before I leave you?
Wala na po.
Wala na?
Wala na po.
Okay.
Wala po.
So when I sign off, it doesn't mean that you will sign off also. You continue what you are doing, okay? Please use the time, okay? Oh, by the way, paki-on nga ulit ng inyong mga camera, and for the last time, I will check the attendance. And you say yes if you are still there. O, ayusin na ang mga buhok para kayo'y maganda at mga gwapo sa picture. Ayusin nyo naman ang focus ng inyong camera. Yung iba nakikita ko na lang noo, yung iba nakikita ko na lang baba. Absenan ko kayo pag di ko kayo makita ng maayos. Okay, I'll call your name and you say present if you are there. Brian Bongat.
Present po.
Ezekiel Maningas.
Present po.
Ezekiel Maningas, asan si Ezekiel?
Dito po. Dito po.
Asan siya? Hindi ko makita.
Dito po.
Saan? Okay.
Happy
Yan.
ni sir.
Aba, kailangan nang magpagupit ng buhok ni Ezekiel. Pwede ko nang itirintas yan. Gusto mo i-braid ko na yung buhok mo?
Pwede po yung
Ayaw.
Oh, Ray Bourbon. Wala na si Ray? Ray Bourbon. Hala,
Wala na po, sir.
nag-cutting na si Ray. Hans de la Peña.
Present po.
Daphne de la Cruz.
Present po.
Michelle Aro.
Present po.
Nisa de Guzman.
Present po.
Angel Andaluz.
po. Present po.
Aba, Angel Andaluz.
Present po.
Jana Auditor.
Present po.
Asan si Jana?
Dito, sir.
Kamag-anak ko ba si Jana? Kasi may kamag-anak akong mga auditor.
Hindi ko po alam.
Taga saan ka, Jana?
Yung father ko po, Perez.
Ah, taga Perez din yung aking mga kamag-anak na auditor.
Baka mag-anak.
Ernesto Auditor.
Hindi po ako familiar sa side ko ng father ko.
Okay. Gia Alfonso.
Present po.
Irene Venjola.
Present, sir.
May kaklase ako a long time ago na Ariel Venjola. Baka lolo mo.
Tito ko po.
Si Ariel?
Opo.
Kaklase ko nung elementary. So, sino may anak sa'yo? Yung bunso niyang kapatid?
Yung bunso pong lalaki.
Ah, okay. Lingwi Alimagno.
Present po.
Laura Isabel de la Peña. Uy, wala na din si Lara Isabel de la Peña.
Leon po.
Ah, De Leon. Sorry, De Leon. Joward Bulawan.
Present po.
Bea Angela.
Present po.
Alec Abrigunda.
Present po.
John Michael Frias.
Present po.
Den Aldrea Maling.
Present, sir.
Jessa May Villaruel.
Present po, sir.
John Mape.
Present po, sir. Present po.
Angel Asagra.
Present po.
Vincent Borja.
Present po.
Andrea Angay.
Present po.
Francis Auditor.
Author po.
Autor.
Present
Miguel
po.
Avengosa.
Present po.
Nasaan si Miguel?
Sir, dito po.
Saan? Alin dyan? Ah, ito si Miguel. Okay. Nico Cuarto.
Present po,
Saan si Nico?
sir.
Oh, magbi-braid na din ang buhok si Nico. J.M. Estoya.
Present po.
Naku, ang haba din ang buhok. Kirstine Galit.
Present po.
Okay. Lay Agnes Barrera.
Present po.
Okay, so si Ray Bourbon lamang ang wala. Ano kaya nangyari kay Ray Bourbon? Ha?
Sumakit daw po mata.
Kahit daw po yung mata.
Sumakit ang mata. Sinong tinitingnan niya at sumakit ang mata niya?
Baka po.
Ikaw po.
Nasilaw po sa kagwapuan ko, sir.
Wey.
Sir, di po ako natawag.
Sino ka?
Ako po si Natay.
Jeremy Padrique? Tinawag ko. Sino pa? Wala na? Magsa-sign off na ako kung wala na kayong question. Wala na?
Okay na po.
Wala na po.
Sure
Wala
ha?
na po, sir. Okay na.
Opo.
Ayoko ng maraming mali sa sagot ninyo.
Ox na po, sir.
Okay. See you next Friday. And
See
I'm
you po.
hoping that
See you po.
Bye-bye
and
po.
I'm hoping that everybody will submit their work through my
Sige
email
po.
not later than Tuesday night, Tuesday evening.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Lord. Bye, Lord.
Patrintas po. Idol, patrintas po.
Gia Alonso.
Ibang buhok par, papatirentas ko kay sir.
Ako din. Papapoint
Yung
na
kulot.
ako.
Mga bata nila Rio.
Sabay tayo para magpatirentas kay sir.
Tara na.
Tapos papalibutan natin.
Sinagay na rin ako.
Wag ganun, wag ganun. Bad yun, pre, bad yun.
Miko, laro-laro lang.
Hindi ah. Masagot nga ako.
Rani, I like your hair, ha?
Thanks, Par. I like your glasses, Par. I also like your hair.
Oh, you like my hair? Laro tayo, pre.
Simon ka.
Sali kayo.
Game.
Among Us tayo.
Tago-taguan, yung hide and seek.
Natin ko ba si Daphne? Daphne.
Hidap niya kayo din mo.
Nice.
Para tayo apat yung din nga dito. Aliw kayo sa
Kain muna.